Kaboom! Kaboom! Kaboom!
It should not be legal to charge real money for this game on Steam. Murder in Tehran's Alley's 1933, not to be confused with Murder in Tehran's Alley's 2016, is another RSK Entertainment piece of junk. Why on earth do I keep playing their games? It's not like the last one even got many views. So let's just get into it and start the game for f***'s sake.
Kill me.
In typical RSK fashion, the game opens with a lazy illustrated cutscene telling us that someone's been killed. First part, there will be blood.
I drink your milkshake.
We spawn as this guy in an empty hallway. While we haven't been given much information about our lead hero, it is pretty safe to assume that he's a detective, since that seems to be the only type of protagonist RSK is capable of making in any of their games. I think you can tell from just how he walks around how high quality the gameplay's going to be, and if you can't tell, I'll just save you the hassle of figuring it out. It's not high quality. When you hold down the spacebar, all of these magnifying glasses pop up on the screen to reveal all of the objects in the room we can interact with. The very first action I take in the game is to interact with this book titled Tobacco, revealing a 6-page history of tobacco. I don't know if it's possible for the first minute of a game to convince me more that I'm not going to have any fun. What to do next? To be honest, I don't really want to do anything. This one's just called Book. Surely whatever it's about is more entertaining than tobacco. Broccoli. Well, never mind.
Just my luck.
I pick up some objects like my police badge and some keys before leaving the room. We stroll through the police station, stumbling across the archives room. I'd better study the cases of these recent murders. I may find a clue. Alright, let's do it. Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you think I'm clicking on even one of these, you're delusional. Unfortunately, trying to do anything else was met with our hero saying now's not the time. And as much as it hurt to admit it seemed to get any further in the game, the archives room was the place to be. I clicked randomly on magnifying glasses. Some would open things like this, others wouldn't even open anything. Why did you even put them there? Why waste my time with all of these if half of them don't even exist?
What's the point?
Between every file, we get to watch our hero's AI struggle to navigate the shelves and find the longest possible route to where I clicked. Games are supposed to be fun. In what up world could this ever be considered fun? Looks like that's the one I'm looking for. Yes, we have found the file.
Hooray!
It's a case report about bodies being found without their heads. After this, I stepped outside, a blank dialogue box came up, and I couldn't move. I waited a while and nothing happened. So I pressed every key on my keyboard one by one, and still nothing happened. I quite simply couldn't progress. So I started again from the beginning, this time breezing through the opening of the game, grabbing the stuff from the office, and then knowing which file to open in the archives room. Now we can go outside the police station. There's a classic NPC archetype, a man warming his hands around a fire barrel, and there's this wall of notes that are just old ads, including the infamous 7-Up baby ad. It really only feels like it's there to say, it's the 30s, we promise, it's the 1930s. Because they definitely didn't put in much effort to make the streets and buildings look like any specific time period. We open the map and select the only option other than the police station, transporting us to this rundown castle. Honestly, this is kind of gorgeous. Sure, the textures are low quality, but the colors, lighting, and aesthetic of an old black car parked outside of this castle is pretty beautiful. It's kind of a shame that there's absolutely nothing for us to do out here, and the only option is to go inside. Here we are, the scene of the murder. The scale perspective of this section is beyond Look at what happens if he goes up here.
What the
Anyway, so he sees that this soil has recently been dug and that he should dig it up to see what's been buried. For reasons unexplained, he can't do this with his bare hands, so we have to find a solution. I decide to talk to this guy, but he has no shovel to offer. I poke around the site, hoping to find a shovel lying around, but there's just bits of random junk and evidence for the case. Some wood, some straw, some hair, a piece of metal. With seemingly no shovel to be found here, I depart. There's now a third third location available on the map titled Autopsy. Autopsy features the front door of a building with traffic going by at 6 frames per second. It seems they don't hear the knock on the door, nobody's answering. Nothing here provides any help, so it. Let's go back to the police station. This is the serious problem with this type of poorly designed mystery game is I don't know what the hell the game wants me to do. And there's every chance I'm now walking around aimlessly looking for a shovel when there isn't even one to be found. I don't know if I've just missed a shovel in the corner of some room here at the station, or if I'm meant to stumble across something somewhere else, or if I'm meant to figure out how to get inside here. I don't know. Don't get me wrong, a mystery game should have puzzles, but those puzzles cannot be the player sitting here thinking, well, I guess what it wants is for me to find a shovel, with absolutely no guidance or clue or even confidence that that's what the game wants from me. I found this guy, a fellow detective. We have a bit of an argument because he got taken off the case when I was put on it. Remember, Afshar, you win some, you lose some. I'm gonna be honest, mate, I can't even find a shovel. I doubt I'm going to be able to find the serial killer who's been chopping heads off all over the country.
I don't even want to be around anymore. I don't want to be around anymore.
Hold up. I've got wood and metal. Can I do something with these? I combine them to make iron plus wood. I combine that with this rope, resulting in a shovel. Turns out it was an empty paper bag buried in the soil. Awesome. I wonder what vague solution to a puzzle this will be involved in. I return to outside the castle, and much like earlier in the game when there was the empty dialogue box, I can't do anything. My guy refuses to move. I can't go back inside. I can't go to the car. I can't bring up the map. All I can do is press the space bar to show the magnifying glasses and move the mouse around. So I reload the game, but it just places me out here again, unable to do anything. That's this save of the game f***ing broken too. This is unacceptable. You can't just allow your game to suddenly choose at random moments that the player can't do anything and has to restart. RSK Entertainment, I tried to play your piece of utter dog game Murder in Tehran's Alleys 1933, but you couldn't even let me. Now that I think about it, it feels like the game didn't even expect me to progress. The first time it broke was after I bothered to find the correct file in this room, and the second time was after I spent half an hour figuring out how to get a shovel. This game costs money. They shat this garbage out, and money left my personal bank account to go towards their endeavors. I don't know how I'm going to sleep at night knowing that.
I'm done! You hear me?